In a quiet town in New England, Emily and James Carter were eagerly awaiting the arrival of their first child. Little did they know, their lives were about to take a surprising turn that would leave the entire hospital in shock. Emily, a glowing mother-to-be, is seen packing her hospital bag. James helps her with a big, excited smile. "Emily, I can't wait to meet our little one. I feel like she's going to surprise us somehow." James, laughing, "Knowing you, Emily, I'm sure she will." Fast forward to the big day. Emily's contractions started early in the morning. James rushed her to the hospital, where Nurse Caroline greeted them warmly. At the hospital, Nurse Caroline prepares Emily for delivery. The camera cuts to James pacing nervously in the waiting room. Hours passed. Emily's labor was long and intense, but finally, the moment came. The doctor called James into the room to meet their baby, the delivery room. The doctor gently hands Emily a beautiful baby girl. "Doctor, congratulations, Emily and James. Meet your daughter, Lily." But before Emily and James could fully soak in the joy, the doctor and Nurse Caroline exchanged puzzled glances. Doctor, to Nurse Caroline, "Wait, I think there's another one." James looks stunned. Emily's eyes widen. "James, another one?" "Twins." Moments later, another baby girl was born. But this wasn't just any set of twins. When the nurse held up the second baby, everyone in the room fell silent. Close-up of the newborn twins. Lily has light skin, blonde hair, and blue eyes, while Maya has dark brown skin and curly black hair. Emily and James had given birth to twins who looked nothing alike. Nurse Caroline whispering, "This is extraordinary." The family gathers around the twins, their shock giving way to awe. "James, how is this possible?" "Doctor, it's rare, but it happens. These are biracial twins, likely due to unique genetic combinations from your family histories." Emily and James had no idea their family's genetic makeup could result in such a beautiful and unexpected outcome. The hospital staff congratulates the couple, and Emily holds both babies close. "Emily, it doesn't matter how it happened. They're both perfect. James, Lily and Maya, welcome to the world." From this moment, Emily and James's world was forever changed. After the initial shock of having biracial twins, they couldn't shake the question that lingered in their minds. How is this even possible? They had both grown up in predominantly white families, and their ancestors had been traced back through generations without much deviation from that history. The hospital staff explained that such a rare occurrence could only be explained by unique genetic combinations from both of their lineages. Still, Emily and James remained puzzled. The genetic surprise that had come in the form of their daughters was not something either of them had anticipated. Emily and James decided to trace back their genetic history to uncover how their daughters could be so different in appearance. They knew that their families had always been relatively straightforward in terms of ancestry, but they had never imagined there could be more to their genetic makeup than what they had been told. They began their search by asking their parents and extended family for any clues about their lineage. Emily's family had always traced their roots back to Europe, with ancestors hailing from England and Ireland. There were no stories of distant lands or cultures beyond the familiar borders of their town. But it was James's family that would reveal a shocking twist. James, who had always been told that his family hailed from the Northeast, found out something that would forever change his understanding of who he was. After speaking with his father and doing some research into his genealogy, James discovered that his paternal grandparents, whom he had always been distant from, were originally from Kenya. They had emigrated to the United States when James's father was just a child, and they had kept their Kenyan roots largely to themselves, blending in with the predominantly white community around them. This discovery was both a revelation and a shock to James. He had never known that his heritage could span continents, and this hidden history was something his parents had never openly discussed. His father, who had assimilated into American life, had never shared the story of their Kenyan roots with him. It was as though the past had been buried, and for James, the news felt like uncovering a piece of himself that had been hidden for generations. In their search, Emily and James also learned that some of Emily's distant ancestors had roots in Africa as well, although not from Kenya. It was from this realization that they began to understand the incredible genetic diversity that could manifest in their daughters, Lily and Maya. It wasn't just one family line that contributed to their unique combination of traits. It was a blend of different heritages coming together in a way they never could have anticipated. With this newfound knowledge, the couple felt a deeper connection to their daughters, recognizing how their genes had come together in the most beautiful, unexpected way. The family, once unaware of the vastness of their ancestral stories, now found themselves embracing their African and European roots with pride. They saw their daughters as a living testament to the rich, interwoven history of humanity, a perfect blend of cultures and lineages that transcended borders. James's Kenyan roots and Emily's European background were now integral parts of their daughter's identity. Maya's dark skin and curly hair were no longer just an anomaly. They were a visible reminder of the powerful and intricate way genetics can shape who we are, regardless of the stories we've been told. And as the twins grew, Emily and James made sure to share their newfound family history with them, teaching them the importance of embracing both the expected and the surprising parts of their heritage. As the years passed, Emily and James embraced their newfound family history with pride, and the twins, Lily and Maya, grew up in an environment that celebrated their diverse heritage. James, once unaware of the Kenyan roots running through his veins, now found himself deeply connected to his heritage. He spent time learning about Kenya's rich culture, traditions, and history, sharing those stories with Emily and the girls. He even began to learn a few words in Swahili, wanting to honor the legacy of his grandparents and make sure his daughters understood the importance of their heritage. Emily, too, took a keen interest in this new chapter of their family's story. She learned about the migration patterns of James's ancestors and how they had adapted to life in the United States, never fully shedding the identity they carried from Kenya. She spent time talking to James's father, who, despite never sharing the details of his parents' past, was now open about his own experiences growing up in a family that straddled two cultures. The family decided to visit Kenya one summer, a journey that would forever shape their lives. The trip was both an emotional and educational experience. James's father, who had not returned to Kenya since he moved to the U.S. decades ago, accompanied them. It was a trip of discovery, reconnecting with long-lost relatives and immersing themselves in the country's vibrant landscapes and history. Maya and Lily were captivated by the beauty of the land and the stories of their Kenyan family. They met cousins they had never known existed and heard tales of their great-grandparents' lives in the villages of Kenya. The trip also gave Maya and Lily a deeper sense of pride in their own identities. It wasn't just about the way they looked, it was about the cultures, traditions, and stories they carried with them. Maya's dark skin and curly hair were no longer seen as an anomaly, but as a reflection of the rich heritage that was now an essential part of who they were. The twins, though still vastly different in appearance, now understood that they were both connected to the same beautiful, complicated tapestry of family history. Back home, James and Emily started teaching the girls more about their dual heritage, making sure they felt empowered by their unique background. They celebrated both Kenyan and European holidays, blending traditions and creating new ones as a family. James's Kenyan roots became a source of pride, and he often shared stories of his grandparents' journey to America, explaining how their courage and resilience helped shape the family they had today. As the girls got older, they began to develop their own understanding of what it meant to have such a rich, diverse heritage. They recognized the strength in their differences and the beauty in the way their family had come together. Lily, with her light skin and blonde hair, embraced her roots just as much as Maya did. The twins were inseparable in their bond, and their parents made sure they knew that the world they were growing up in was one that celebrated love, unity, and the unexpected. Emily and James's journey had begun with a shock and uncertainty, but it evolved into a powerful testament to the importance of embracing the unknown parts of our identities. The story of Lily and Maya was no longer just about two sisters who looked different. It was about a family that had rediscovered the deep, interconnected history of their roots. And as they moved forward, they knew that no matter where life took them, they would always carry with them the legacy of both their pasts, Kenya, Europe, and the place where they all came together as one. This story of unexpected twists, hidden roots, and the beauty of diversity reminded Emily, James, and their daughters of the importance of family. They learned that family was never just about appearances or where you came from. It was about the love that binds you together, no matter how different you might seem on the surface. And in their case, that love was more than enough to make them feel whole.